Hi, hello, and welcome to the Galactic Councilorship report brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. This is a special edition. It is the 08 LIONSGATE portal. Hi, hello, and welcome if you're a returning subscriber. Welcome back. If you're a new subscriber, you belong. Welcome home. My name is Serene Pieces of Blossi. I'll be your oracle today. And just a quick message to everybody. I didn't realize so much time had elapsed between, everything. There were pressures building and temptations and la-di-da and yada yada. Mama had to take some personal time. Priestess had to take some personal time. Sensually, I'm a little bit different than the average animal. So sometimes things don't make sense to me until after the fact. Sometimes they're obvious things to normal everyday things. I'm just early stimuli was different for me. Anyways, long story short, I'm back. I've been back. A couple of things just to the house. If we're communicating an element, it's like a handful of y'all. I'm gonna have to get you to another app, okay? The app's just not working out for me right now or anymore. Also, we're missing like a week's worth of videos, so and a couple different kinds and things of that nature. So here's what's gonna happen. I have that content, I just never published it. It's gonna go into the list. So you won't get a notification bell on it. You'll have to go into the series and on the playlist channel or the channel playlist and check it, okay? I may eventually add it to the show notes or whatever, what have you. These are things that always take a few days to do after the video. So when the channel opens, I gotta be the vessel. That's really why I'm here. So I was checking in with the spirits, and as I opened the door, they said, go ahead and share this. This is publico, okay? So that's what this is. Why don't we actually go ahead and do that now? We have the Empress and the Tower. So it can be, and this is the Rider-Waite. So it can be that oh, and I'm sorry for the interruption in programming. I usually can get ahead of myself. Personally, I've been dealing with some toxemia, and it feels like it went to every area of my life. I have a well-tuned system. It can look a little fragile from the outside because it might look like intolerances or allergies or whatever, but actually it's just my immune system. I'm not just talking about my physical body. It's very sensitive. I said some months ago, I started a new exercise regimen, a new diet, and a new lifestyle change all within a few days of each other. So over the course of a week, I introduced 3 very trajectory changing, very crossroads kind of behaviors into my life. And basically what happened is I started purging toxins my body couldn't eliminate fast enough. And it wasn't just my body, it was my environment, surrounding location. I had breakdowns everywhere. People just blew up out of my life. My body was eliminating things and through my skin, through my pores, through my tongue, through my holes, it really just showed me a lot. And I feel like I've been through it. I really feel like I've been wrung out like a dirty dish rag, but in all honesty, like I feel stronger. But I'm also realizing like I can't mess with nothing. Like my boundaries and standards need to be so clear. And the way I introduce myself to people, I'm all about the Lord. If you don't fuck with the Lord, I don't fuck with you. I'm so sorry, boo. That's just how it is, how it's gonna be. And love and light, baby. Peace out. So I'm just like, and if we do take a step forward beyond that conversation, I'm about honoring your commitment to the goddess. If you're not devoted to the goddess, I can't fuck with you. And if you don't yield to the truth and confront your karma, I can't. I have a little bit of an ancillary rule there, and it's if you're not trying to make the world a bigger, brighter, better place, if you're not answering your calling, if there's not something alive in you that's trying to shine out to the world, even if you're one of the behind the scenes supporters, if you're not on a light worker's mission, it's really a futile endeavor. I may walk with you or whatever for a minute, for a moment, some time, but to me, now that I'm not ignoring little things from my body because they're not being masked over, or I haven't become tolerant to toxicity, I gotta honor it. We always know that first red flag we just ignored, and we remember it a year later, 2 years later, a decade later, when the situation is breaking up. You know, I always know going in that something's off, something's funny, right? And it took like my life taking a dump, basically, not a fall, whatever, like literally an elimination. We had to squeeze through the bowels spiritually of my life to show some things. You're gonna see this really manifest itself in the work that we're doing. And the mission is to be your steward through the galactic seas, through the cosmic seas. Okay. When I think about the vertex of abundance, I think about the sun card, I think about the chariot card. They like burn themselves in my mind. So moving forward, when you want to love a person, help a person, heal a person, fix a person, upgrade them, whatever, what have you, you really gotta make sure your life is still moving forward. Sometimes you are assigned to the task. Really, sometimes you are appointed to the task of dealing with this, you know, ratchet hatchet hoe and their little karma and their little drama and their little ignorance and their little stupidity. But like I said, like those ignoring those red flags, you know when certain things are gonna be a futile endeavor, a fruitless endeavor, a foolish endeavor. It's that fool card in reverse. So that's an abbreviation, an amalgamation, an amorphous depiction of the cascading, compounding cacophony of karma I just expedited and confronted. And I hope that could be helpful. I really do. Everything manifests physically. Before there's an illness that we can detect through the history books, science books, religious books, medical texts, there's always a spiritual dis-ease, is dis-ease, you know. The average person is not at ease. They're not free and at peace. Okay, and I want to talk about that. So we have the Empress here with the Tower. The Imperatrice coming into the Tower talks about really being abused, being attacked because of the beauty, because of our innate refined sensibilities. We could be cultivating our life through our divine characteristics and qualities. A lot of people don't possess those. When they see them, it brings out some of the shadow to the surface. Typically, it looks like a projection from the other side. There's also a little bit of the death card energy here. So there's a warning: sweep away karma, sweep away karma, sweep away karma, because if it accumulates, if it amalgamates, darker manifestations. And so what are the darker manifestations? The devil. The devil can talk about negative energy toxicity, but it also talks about ignorance and self-delusion, falsities, falsehoods that one person perpetuates, typically our own self. Okay, so I'm picking up on that. It's relevant for some reason. So now we have the Empress and the Three of Pentacles. So there's some type of communication, collaboration, cooperation, co-creation. And I feel like the communication has already happened. And it's about legacy, it's about wealth. It might also be about spiritual inheritance, okay? We're gaining some type of security here. We've been prepared to receive, and the work has been done, or we have the collaboration of the work being done, okay? But there's also karma. There's causes that have been made, or some type of difficult burden, or the karma is also for the public, because we have 2 10s here. So we have 2 10s here. Okay, so first of all, there's an alignment or a unity or a community or a partnership around completion. A pair of 10s talks about, and it's really a third 10 if you count the sun. So we're ready to receive. We've recognized that we're a golden goose, that the baddie, the thotty, the whatever, what have you, the thing that everybody wants, even the thing that people are willing to break their vows, break their oath to go. So we really are, thankfully, we're not a Jonas, a Judas, a Jezebel. But we got that good. We got the juice, that base. And we're highly coveted here. And we do have some kind of supreme, serene protection, or our energy multiplies anybody else, especially the divine masculine. Now, the divine masculine could be, they're distorted masculine, even if they're on and popping and you choose them and they're the wrong choice. Because the divine masculine could also be in a child where there's a blueprint that you want to make sure gets framed and gets built. Think about the seed having to start from that initial stage and having to develop fully. So if they were sired by a divine masculine, and now you have this male-bodied child, this male gender assigned at birth child, it just means there's a divine seed in them, and it needs to fully express itself. It has to go through the 7 chakras and radiate out through the crown, etc., so on, so have you, so on and so forth. So the work has been done, because the Empress has her back to the Queen of Pentacles. The work's been done. The Queen of Pentacles is looking at taking something that was a collaboration and now making it a legacy, giving it some long-term, with the Queen of Pentacles, preserved, enduring, durable manifestation. 2 tends to talk about manifestation, especially when the sun is present. Okay. The Empress and the Sun could talk about fertility, could talk about being pregnant, could talk about material gain. Our wishes are being granted in some kind of way. So I feel like we want to be a public service worker. There's some type of foundation that we want to enshrine for the world. Our legacy is more of a public service than it is our own personal gain, even though we may be healing family karma, even though we may be breaking generational curses. So this is what the LIONSGATE portal is doing. What I'm sensing is that we've discovered our worth. We've completed a handful of lessons. They were karmic lessons and materialization lessons. We came here into this earth plane with a mission. So we have a soul mission. There's a calling on our life. Okay, so we have God duties and obligations. We serve the Creator. And we had to mitigate and matriculate that through all the different filters of reality. There's a handful. We're on the 3rd density, there's a 5th density, there's a 7th density, there's a 9th density. Okay, so a lot of the creator beings live in the 9th density. Okay, a highly ascended, pure, blissful soul can exist in the 7th density. We're down here in the 3rd density. So this is a demonstration. Yes, this is a simulation. This is a simulation. These are the realms of my wildest dream. So imagine if your calling was something dark, something sinister, something evil, something wicked, something duplicitous, something malicious. Okay, imagine. It's hard. Imagine. So these are the people that need. They're pitiful and pathetic. It doesn't take that much to be a winner. You just gotta focus on yourself and be humble and believe in a higher power. That's all it takes. But imagine being trapped in purgatory for 1,000 years, because those are the 2 or 3 things you can't do or won't do. Okay, but that's not us. We have some type of spiritual inheritance, and we're trying to share it with the world. Build some type of legacy. Even if we got our own babies, even if we popped out our own little humans, you know what I mean? And then imagine the other side. All they got is the little evil, sinister, wicked little games that they play, and their little short, temporary, futile victories, and their lack of scruples. And what kind of being would be proud of that? Would take pride in that being their nature, okay? So we've done some type of discovery. We saw the little hangman there. We too many things crossed our soul, tried to open up a road to our soul, tried to get us to give away our soul or go down a path that would have destroyed our soul. And it didn't happen. It didn't want to happen. It didn't want to work. So we're with God. We're all about God. We're all about the Lord, the Creator, Pachamama, Buddha, Allah, Shekinah, Jehovah, whatever, what have you, a higher power. Okay, we're with Kalima, you know, Adi Shakti. For me, you know, we are one with spirit, and we're sitting in communion, union with the collective subconsciousness, which is the hangman. It also is the soul incarnate. With the king, it's a higher grade than the hangman. The king is 13, the hangman is 12. So we've manifested here on earth. We've gone into the physical, and we're fully realized, fully mastered. Even if we're not a millionaire yet, we will be. Okay. If we're those things in the spiritual realm, they just haven't come through into the physical yet, because this King of Pentacles is in the right now, the present. And the past is the Eight of Pentacles. So we've been on and popping, working, aligning. Okay, there's something about our position, our career, our work. We're working on that bag, we're working on that money, whatever, what have you, that cash money, dollar bills, that hustle, that thug thistle, that grind. Okay, so we're in position, and we're at a crossroads with this Two of Wands. I don't know what that means. We now have the Magician here. So we're choosing. I don't see test here, but I do see a little bit of darkness. And when there's darkness around blessings about to be given, there's always a test or denial of the blessing. And that's the thing with the hangman. It's never a no, it's a not now. Okay, if it was a no, you'd see the death card or the devil. Death card meaning there's no negotiation. You can't negotiate that. The devil means you're trapped. There's some law of karma that you need to honor before you can la-di-da, yada yada. Here we have somebody about to manifest because they're choosing, Two of Wands, choosing a path or a crossroad. Someone or something, energy, person, place, is trying to get us to choose. Okay, because we're of an opposing mind, and we're repulsed, they're grotesque. There is some hidden person trying to, you know, project a mystery onto us, some kind of, yeah, it's a cowgirl, somebody trying to infiltrate, separate. They want to rule over us. That means they want to repress us, suppress us in some kind of way, some kind of creepy manipulation. I'm also detecting a sexual vibe. They're trying to suppress us because of, if we get too big, they have nothing to hook, no hook. So that's a low ho kind of thing. That's a basic witch thing, to think that stripping a person of everything they got, everything they have, everything that they are, is going to make them more approachable, accessible to you, the little stupid hoe, the little evil hoe. Okay, sometimes if you're the last person on earth, they die and wither and shrivel up alone instead of effing with you. Okay, there comes a point in a toxic relationship or in a betrayal or where we have to love you from afar. Praying for you is enough before the eyes of the Creator. Okay, so I don't get this, you know, string pulling, or I'm going to make you feel this so that you step into this illusion, delusion, confusion, and like that. A malignant, toxic person can only do low grade pettish. They can't come up and be the bigger, brighter, and better. That love vibration will take you out of hell, will take you out of purgatory. And again, the reason why love is the most powerful presence of all, it isn't, but it is in the physical world because it purifies. It's like this, it's like dividing truth from illusion. So unless you get caught up, unless you give something up, you can't be taken. And somebody is trying to create the circumstances where we're stripped, where we have some kind of weakness, some type of openness, some type of vulnerability, so they can come in with things that haven't changed. They're still the same old little demon doing their little devilish things, even if they haven't lost their soul to the devil, even if they haven't solidified a new master, a new employment contract. They work for the dark. So they may be fallen or they may be forsaken. Okay, and it's about power struggles. Okay, and like I said, the Queen of Wands, a cowgirl, some type of infiltrate, some type of separate somebody. wants to be the biggest, the best, the first. They want affection, adoration, appreciation, attention. Ho, if you can't feed your own self, don't be trying to. If you wasn't invited to the table either, no. The things I gotta say, they're unpleasant and unkind. Listen, compassion would tell me that a person is getting jealous, that a person is scheming, that a person that's betraying, being malicious, betrayal, or manipulative even, they need healing. But that's something you see often in a manipulative person is really they're weak because they're insecure. They may be hyper insecure, hyper vigilant, hypersensitive. So they control and manipulate. They manipulate so they have a sense of control because, and what they're trying to control is supply. At the root of most toxic personalities, what you're finding is loneliness, abandonment, inadequacy. It's insecurity and sensitivity. Okay, that's what it is. And if they're that's a grandiose. Once they get into the malignant, which is a step further, we leave the sociopathy and we go into the psychopathy. So a toxic personality is not normally trying to be. If they could do better, they would. Very rarely, 1 out of every 20 occurrences, very rarely do you find that a person wants to harm. Okay, they just might not have the skills or the awareness, the insight on not to harm. But to understand, to live in a world where you lack common sense, understand how to imagine living in a world where completely obvious things don't make sense to you. Okay, so that's where we are. This situation, if we're battling the dark, entities, enemies, ideologies, let's just call it the collective ignorance and falsities. If those things are still running through our system, they're not in our system, that they're being purged. But since we're so progressed into a spiritual war, the other side is trying harder. Okay, and these 3 cards are telling me that. So the other side is trying harder. Let's do this awakening. Yeah, so they're taking a stand. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. But it's already over with the 9 and the judgment. It's already over. The heavens have stood their ground and said, "Listen, I'm going to filter through these little laws. I'm going to let all the trials and defense and the appeals come up, and then I'm going to sentence." Okay, we've already passed judgment. We've already done the deliberation and review and arrived at a conclusion. And you're not it. You're not up to snuff. I can't F with you. I don't have what I need in order to give you what you want. That's what the universe is saying to this antagonistic, adversarial, oppositional whole, or whatever the collective evil, darkness, shadow is on the opposite of us. Whatever's crossing us, competing with us, creating obstacles, whatever. Because we confront our karma, we're willing to cleanse and to clear. When something comes up, we're like, okay, this sucks, but I'm gonna move through it and move on from it, because on the other side, there's something. It might be a blessing, it might be a lesson, whatever, what have you. Okay, so like I'm saying, we're willing to complete the world card. We're willing to complete whatever comes in front of us. All right, we're willing to stay on high ground with that 6 of Wands. The other side, the 9 of Wands, what they want to do is be entitled. The toxic traits of entitlement, how that plays out with a personality style. Okay, entitlement is really what it is. It's entitlement. It's somebody who doesn't see wrong in themselves, or doesn't see that they have their own karma too, or doesn't see, okay, and all they can do is collaborate with gross. All they can do is be more of a black cloud, or add in more negative karma, or compound what's not working. They don't offer or give to solution. Okay, so yeah, they're a dark worker. They work against they work against. They're trying to also get us to give them access to our life or our gifts or something of that nature. It's like their whole life trajectory is based on the plans of getting us to give them something. We're a gatekeeper. See that Hierophant? We're a gatekeeper of something. Okay, so let's get up in here and see what's up. We have the Emperor, the Imperatore. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, a pair of nines with the Hierophant. A pair of nines talks about completion, not culmination like the pair of tens that we had. Yeah, so this is the dissolution of physical structures or of principalities or of powers. So there's systems, structures, foundations, enmeshments that have been enshrined upon the earth or at the throne of divine beings who were ignorant of their true nature and their purpose here upon the earth plane. The dark principalities had enmeshed or enshrined something in a sovereign territory, and these structures are about to be dismantled, torn down, dissolved. Dissolution is what I heard. Okay, and it's starting out with us just withdrawing our energy. Remember, we had the Judgment card before. I was sensing, I was seeing something. I was hearing Shiva, Lord Shiva. You know, so 2 nines would talk about isolation, needing space, needing time apart, being solitary, going inward, seeking answers. It would also mean having access to the mysteries, a double 9. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles. So this is telling me that towards the 1st of next month, towards a few weeks or a few days after the new moon, that there's going to be some kind of revelation, or it's really insight. There's going to be some type of insight that we should add or incorporate or align with our manifestation intentions at that time. Around the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th of the month of August. Okay, about 8 days after the LIONSGATE portal, we should ask for what we want. We're going to start to align, get into balance, fairness. Things are going to start to work out. We have a double 6 here. So that means winning, being a winner. Something's going to need to stand. But when you have Ace of Wands and the 9 of Wands, it means that a gate is locked. Somebody's trying, because we had the 2 of Wands before, somebody's trying to approach us and they can't even get on the road. They can't even, the moment they bring us into their ideas or into their strategy or into their plans or into their tactics, they're smacked hard and heavy. They're popped in the mouth by the goddess, Shakti, the Mami Weke, they're popped in the mouth, okay? They can't get with us. There's no give and take. They can't put, see how the 6, what is 3 plus 3? 6, okay? So what this means is they can't work. They can't give, you know, it's like when you go to dinner with a group of like, I don't know, 8 people and you split it. They can't come up with their piece. They can't come up with their how. And it's whatever. There's 7 of you elsewhere. Y'all can kick in for them, whatever. But you hear what I'm saying? Like, because there also comes a point in the Ascension where you could be unrefined, you could be inelegant, you could not meet the mark. But if you're malicious, if there's falsities, if something's fake, fictitious, whatever, what have you, false, that's not going to work. You got to say, hey, I don't really qualify, or hey, I ain't got all I need, or hey, I'm low and down right now. This is what's up. Can you work with me, or do we need to pause and me to circle back? Instead of being like, maybe they won't notice and I can do all this little, I don't know, duplicitous, malicious stuff. Okay, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm seeing. All right. Okay, so health, when we see the health card, it talks about the energy coming towards us, all right? But growing through whatever we go through, excuse me, growing through whatever we go through, excuse me, going through whatever we go through, that's our process. That's what brings us bliss. And the thing about it is almost like a physical pain, because all these spiritual illnesses are stepping to the physical, usually through conflict, usually through betrayal, usually through sadness, okay? But it's bringing to our attention a lot, and we're dealing with a lot. If it happens to the other side, they slow down and they make excuses and they get into that toxic malignant cycle. Yeah. So somebody sees us as the hottie, the thotty, the badass, and they want to reach out and grab what we got instead of collaborating, communicating, cooperating, co-creating with us. Okay, they just want to steal, they just want to take. And they're under the impression that it's going to equate to finances, and it will eventually. Okay. If you help enough people, you and your needs will be helped. But this is a betrayer. They want to cut corners. They want to do something that breaks a vow, that breaks an oath. They want to betray confidences in some way, shape, form, or another. Okay, so that makes them a 5, which means that they're living a karmic life. We have the 5 of Cups is what I'm getting right now. So this is the person who's depressive. They're typically covert in their toxicity, and essentially they're a loser. Now, I don't say that it doesn't take much to become a winner. You just need to keep trying. That's the main difference. Okay. And see, when you take a loss, when you take an L, that doesn't mean you're a loser. A loser is when you don't get back up and keep at it, or when you think that you can't, or when you accept something that you know your soul is telling you to do. For instance, you might try to get something, it doesn't work out for you, and then you go out into the world, go on about your business. But every single person you see got what you want to have, you become jealous of. Well, that actually is a sign that there's an unmet need and your soul is calling you to grow. Usually it's through passion that your soul calls you to grow, but it can be through jealousy too. And a person that was feeling those feelings could either be blissful and humble and have grace and go pray to the Lord and be like, this is what's up, this is what I'm feeling. Please walk me through this experience. Please take this from me or help me heal this. And then all this corresponding experience comes, basically a lesson and a blessing. Because to a divine being, a loss is either a lesson or a blessing. Okay. So when we lose, when God gifts us, they gift us with a blessing or a lesson. Okay. And we need to accept either, both, with enthusiasm and gratitude. Okay. Because this other side, there's something about us that's going to blow up. The work that we're doing is going to be recognized spiritually, or something about our name, our reputation. It might be that, yeah, because we have faith in the creation, faith in the Lord, faith in the divine plan. And this other person, they're living in despair, so they're miserable and bitter. Like I said, 5 of Cups is what I'm getting. Yeah, contentment. They're unhappy with their lives, but see, they don't have the environment surrounding location. And that's the truth. They don't have the environment surrounding location to get this, to be better, to get better. Everything around them compounds their illness, their disease, their toxicity. Okay. Okay, we got another one. Faith. They don't have faith. They're guided by sight, not by faith. They have a mind that the devil has a hold of. They're lost in doubt, despair, maybe envy, greed. I'm getting. For us, what's going? Oh goodness. Okay, so we have Knight and okay. So this person fell out of touch, and it doesn't have to be manifested as a human. It very likely is. Especially difficult lessons, because we suppress so much that we project them onto others, or we see them in others, and then a karmic will manifest so that we complete that cycle. And that's those false twins. Okay, so house, reverse, exile. They had access at one time and they did too much. They came at us, came for us, or they whatever. And I feel like they were harmful storyteller. They could have been lying. It says here, making intents to harm others, but they were harmful because they have this aggrandizement, and their allegiance is not to the right principles. So we're not in allegiance with what they're in allegiance to. Okay, and they have these delusions. So illusion, confusion, delusion. To a sensitive mind, to a sensitive heart, to a sensitive ear, to a sensitive soul, everything is gonna agitate them. They're gonna complain too much. It's the sensitive ears that complain, because a real hoe is going to do what a real hoe does, be about realness, authenticity, genuineness, sincerity. Okay, they're going to ask questions, they're going to respond with curiosity, examination. Okay, people that jump to conclusions or are at war with themselves, everything is going to be an adjutant, everything's going to be a threat, because they don't feel comfortable in their own space. That's a very clear sign that a soul is distorted, because the soul is the place where your spirit resides. And in the spiritual realms, your soul is actually your home, and your spirit is your consciousness. Okay, so think of your soul as a vehicle, and then you get behind the driver's wheel and you drive your vehicle around. Well, you getting behind the driver's wheel is like the spirit driving the soul around. Okay, so your spirit is internal, your soul could be destroyed. You could lose it, you could become a slave, kind of like how a mortgage works today. It's your house, but you owe somebody else. So what I'm being told is that this is a person that is dictatorial, but they're covert about it. They like to do it through exploiting and soliciting pity. So that's the word called compassion baiting. Okay, so this came right back with the martyr. So they tried to sacrifice us. They were never going to go the right way. And listen, it's the LIONSGATE. All right. So understand that this is collective. This is about power struggle. Our inner sovereignty is being competed with. And there are people out there that don't want to see us know ourselves, be about ourselves, be fully in love with ourselves, be fully aligned with ourselves. They want to see us lost in illusion, delusion, confusion like they are, because they can't do what it takes to come up, to be better, to get better, to do better. They want to fall in love instead of rise in faith. Okay? So these are the people that feel like they're going without in life because they're not doing enough to get the blessings that they're so covetous of. And so they get jealous of other people that got something going on because they ain't got nothing going on, and they can't keep it on. Meaning they can't keep on keeping on. They give up too easily because they lack faith. I'm sorry to say. And really, they do a lot of magic as well. That's what we're getting. We're getting people that are warlocks, that are sorcerers, that do spiritual manipulation, energy projection, and not in a way that's in alignment. They're not doing it to heal, to protect. They're doing that other stuff, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. And I'm using, because it's the Lionsgate portal and the Leo card didn't come out, so I went directly to that deck. I have a Leo deck. I really call her Sekhmet Narishmima. It's a Saturn energy. Anyways, so we have the Four of Wands here. It's telling me a lot about when they get called before the throne, or when things, qualities, characteristics in life, when they do recognize it, when they see the truth, when they see the light, they spiral out of control. And that's a sign of a demon, because demons shine away from light. It's not always about the actual light. They may be standing there in broad daylight, okay? But light dispels darkness. Darkness doesn't dispel light. And that's what they're struggling with. They can't confront themselves, combat themselves, be real with themselves, see the contribution that they make. Okay? They're gluttonous. So they have some illusion, delusion, confusion. The Nine of Cups in reverse would also talk about the Tower here in reverse, especially with the Five of Swords like this. The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands in reverse, I'm scared of those hoes because they abuse, typically sexual, with the Cups, it can be manipulation, coercion, subterfugal control, covert, but expert covert, meaning they take covert action against you right to your face, and they'll have you sitting there in the palm of their hand giving you all the ammunition they need. You'll basically do their job for them, which is to F yourself. That's what I'm getting. And listen, yeah, okay, we may have one single person in our life, but this is the general nature, the fabric of the collective shadow. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, because that's what this Lionsgate portal is. We're stepping into our sovereignty. We're stepping into our alignment. We're stepping into our God duties and obligations, our God duties and responsibilities, and we're being prepared to receive our spiritual inheritance. And the other side is trying to step into the physical to physically steal, and they've been working on us for years and years, trying to spiritually steal it. That's what this is. Okay, so this Knight of Cups is a master. And I'm hearing the word dominion. So unless they're an angel, they're an evil worker. They have specific tasks. The thing about the dominion class is it's like a spiritual caseworker. Yeah, so something is sitting here at the threshold. They're wanting to come in to do something. I don't understand what it is, because we've mastered. We're just waiting on our blessings to come through. Yeah, we've mastered. We're just waiting on our blessings to come through. And it's late. With the Page of Swords, it could be a delayed message or difficulty on the path. Yeah, what it is we need to recognize what the problems and obstacles are, why this is happening. That hasn't happened yet. And the Lionsgate portal, we're going to see our power start playing out right in front of us. We're going to see our spiritual power start playing out right in front of our very own eyes. Okay, yeah, Two of Pentacles. There's going to be reversals. The tables are going to turn. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. Yeah, because we've had to defend a lot. We have a vision, but everyone's trying to tempt us. Okay, I'm going to keep going just for a quick second here. Yeah, so there's illusion, delusion, confusion. There's hidden enemies, ulterior motives with the Moon card. Now, somebody here can have their sun in Pisces, or they could be a Gemini rising. Somebody's terribly out of touch. They can't see themselves or overcome themselves. They're really, okay, I just heard they're on a losing streak. They're full of excuses and they're not doing their work. They need healing. So they're perfectly comfortable in crisis, because that's how they get their needs met. That's how they get their supply. Okay. Yeah. They have a lot of karmic things to work through. This is the other side. We moved on, moved forward. We completely just left the scene. So somebody has lost access, approachability, accessibility to us, and then projecting their energy onto us. So most of what's going on right now is a manifestation of this person introducing negative energy, negative influence, a toxic connection, a toxic bond onto us. Because on our end, on ourselves, in our own environment, surrounding location, we've been learning. We've also been humbling ourselves, becoming more devoted to the creator. And so a lot of things are being shown. A lot of things are being illuminated. We're being informed, instructed, educated on some things that before we weren't. We just couldn't get it because we weren't ready, we weren't prepared, but now we have that foundation. We're sitting in the seat that we're supposed to. Okay. Yeah, so also this other side doesn't like what we're about to receive. They want it. Okay, well, not my problem. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Just smash that like button if you can. And I'll see you in the next one. If you want to catch up on the missed content, it'll be in the lists, the playlists, okay, on the channel. And if it's not there right now, it exists. I just need to upload it, okay? So take good care. I'm gonna go into another reading, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.